Hey there, YouTube. Today I want to talk about 3 pro tips for working with your snare side head. Not the top head, but the one on the bottom and the strainers and snares. So right off the bat, oh, before I forget, down in the comments section, tell me if you would like me to do a video specifically on different tunings of the bottom head. I'm going to tell you how I usually do mine, basically 100% of the time. But if you would like me to go through and show you how the bottom head and its different tensions affect sound, let me know down in the comment section. All right, tip number 1. You have changed your drum head or you just need to tune that bottom head. Tip number 1, to start tuning, you've got the snares in the way. So check this out. You've got the snares right here, and they're in your way because if you start tapping around the drum head, hear the snares? That's a problem. Old school way, the way I used to do it, was I would lift up one side. It's still doable. That's still doable. But what I like to do now is I have taken the dials here. I've taken the dials here and I've unscrewed them almost all the way to give me the option to put a drumstick underneath the snares to hold them away from the drum head. And I think it's fantastic. Now, warning, when you do this, you can screw up your snares. So I like using a pretty brand new stick so that you don't have all the splinters up here when you don't want to jam those through on the snares and get caught and things go south. So I'm using, this stick's been played like twice. So anyway, so I'm gonna go underneath here, lightly, easily, and I'm just going to move them out of the way. And now, there you have it. Your snares are out of the way of you being able to tune. No more snare sound. All right, no more snare sound. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is when you are tensioning the snare drum. And obviously there are different ways you could do this. I personally like my snare drum head, this snare, the resonant head, snare side, very tight. That's pretty tight. I like it that way. I think it helps the snares respond better. That's my opinion. I would tell you when you do this to experiment with it. Experiment with how you like your snare drum to sound. I think, well, like I said, I think the snares are snappier. I think they respond better and with a tighter drum head. But go ahead, try it, tune the snare down. And like I said in the comments section, if you would like me to do a video on the snare drum head, the resonant head, and how it affects the snare drum sound loose and medium and then tight, I'd love to do it. So let me know down in the comment section. All right, so again, tip number 2, make sure that your tension rods are as in tune as possible with each other. That means that this tension rod sounds the same as this tension rod, sounds the same as this tension rod. I know on almost all my snare drums that I've ever tuned that the 4 actually, 4 tension rods, the 2 that surround the snares and the strainer, many times are lower in pitch and you got to bring them up and then that throws things out. I saw a video recently from Steven Taylor. You might want to go check this out. Steven's got great YouTube videos. Go check him out. And I agree with him on this. Do they have to be absolutely in tune? No. I've had drums where, honestly, one lug has like pretty much unscrewed itself somehow. It's just hanging on by a thread. It's not even touching. Snare sounds great. So, you know, but in my world, if we can get them all the same, that's what you want to do. Lastly, tip number 3. What do you do with the snares? How tight should they be? If you just saw my last video, which I put out a week ago on snare drum tuning, I mentioned how you don't want to over tighten the strainer. So what does that mean? That means what I'm gonna do is, right now the lever is completely off. What I wanna do is put the lever on, and now check this out. There is no snare attached, and the lever is on. So I'm gonna start taking my strainer system and start tightening the screws on it. Now, most of you probably have just one tightening device, and it's usually right where the lever is. It's that screw at the top. My drum has 2. I personally like that. It helps bring the snares up evenly on both sides as opposed to one of them just pulling it tighter. What I want to do is I want to tighten those up a little bit and then see what the drum sounds like tapping towards the edge lightly. Okay, so let's give this a go. We'll see how this works out. Okay, we're starting to get there. Yeah, I had them off. Okay, so right now, if I do this towards the edge of the drum, now you might see me, matter of fact, I'm gonna change it. I always like to have my drums where the strainer, the throw off is right in front of me so that the snares go straight out. That's what I like, so I'm gonna do that right now. That way you can see why I was touching towards the edge there. Okay, now, hear all that zzz, that buzz that just keeps going? The snares are engaged, fantastic, but now we want to get rid of that buzz. So we're going to try to take those levers up, or those screws up a little bit more. Notice how the buzz is starting to go away? That's where you want to be. You want to be in that ballpark, all right? So, I don't know if you could hear that right now, but it's starting to sound choked, and there was like this weird vibrated buzz that is more like a zip, not really a buzz. And we'd want to avoid that like the plague, okay? You don't want to over tighten the snares. If you can hear how the drum itself now is starting to get choked. It's starting to kind of, not tubby, but oddly boxy. That's the term I'm going to use. So I'm going to turn some of this down a little bit. Now, I like this particular snare drum to be a little more open. It's a steel shelled snare drum, so it's going to ring. To fix that in recordings or on stage if I need to or whatnot, I'll take some gaff tape and just apply a little bit of it out here, and just to take those overtones away just a little bit. It's like I don't want them all to go away, but I want some of them to go away. I feel like overtones help the drum have presence, but then again, when you have mics on them, all of a sudden that mic's gonna find every bad thing that comes out of your drum that your ear doesn't even hear. So, but for me, I like this sound. Keep in mind that what you're hearing is coming through this lavalier microphone at the moment. But the whole point to tip number 3 is that you bring those up until they engage and then just give them a little more, testing it lightly. You don't want to smack the drum. That's not helping you out yet. Or actually, not at all, really. So you just want to bring that up, tapping it, and not choking it. If I wanted to choke it, do you hear that? That's like completely choked, and I hope that's coming through, but it's just awful. Who wants to? Ugh. It's literally sucked up the bottom head, and that's not what you want to do. So let's bring this out again. Somewhere in that ballpark. And there's your 3 pro tips. All right, folks, if you're getting something out of my videos, I'd appreciate a subscribe and a like. The likes really do help all of us YouTubers out. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content. Again, in the comments section down below, write down there if you'd like to see me do different tensions on the snare side head and see what that does to the overall drum sound. Don't forget to check out one of these 2 videos right over here. And until the next time, take care.